Today we are going to see the part 3 video of electrochemistry. We have to learn the following terms: resistance R, conductance G, resistivity rho, conductivity kappa, molar conductivity lambda m, limiting molar conductivity or molar conductivity at infinite dilution lambda m naught, degree of dissociation alpha, Ka dissociation constant. Let us go to the first term, resistance. Resistance, what is resistance? It is a obstruction to the flow of current. When current flows, some obstruction will be there. That is measured in unit ohm. This is the symbol for ohm. This resistance is directly proportional to the length of the wire and inversely proportional to the area of cross section. So put together these two things, we can write R is directly proportional to L, inversely proportional to A. This can be calculated using Wheatstone bridge experiment. But in the Wheatstone bridge experiment, we can calculate the resistance of an unknown resistance of a wire. But if we have electrolytic solution, how can we connect this electrolytic solution like a wire? So Wheatstone bridge cannot be used to calculate the electrolytic solution directly. It has to be modified because there are two problems. One is electrolytic solution cannot be connected. The other one is DC current will cause polarization in the solution. So what to do? Then the solution will start polarizing and the reaction will be getting reversed. To avoid that, we are using a cell called conductivity cell. First problem is solved. The conductivity cell will have a tank in which you can have the solution with the two electrodes. Instead of the DC current which will cause polarization, we can use AC current. So what will happen? This alternating current, the forward reaction, when it comes in the backward direction, reaction will be reversed. Now let us see in the textbook how the Wheatstone bridge is working. In the Wheatstone bridge, you can see here this conductivity. I told you these are the resistance R1, R2, R3, R4. So the formula will be the unknown resistance R2 can be calculated by using the formula R1 into R4 divided by R3. We can calculate using this. In this circuit, instead of the R2, we are connecting conductivity cell. How the conductivity cell will be, that also we can see in the textbook. This is the way the conductivity cell will be. I told it will be looking like a tank. Inside the tank you can have the solution. Inside this tank you can have the solution. Then it will be used platinized platinum electrode, and it will be connecting. This connecting part, this full part is the R2 unknown resistance. This can be connected to the Wheatstone bridge and we can calculate. So now you have understood how to calculate the resistance of a unknown solution using Wheatstone bridge and conductivity cell. Now we are going to the conductance. What is conductance? Conductance is the reciprocal of resistance. So what is the unit for resistance? Ohm. So what will be the unit for conductance? Ohm power minus 1. Otherwise, you reverse this order and you can see it is mho. Reverse that letter and see it will come as mho. So it will be written ohm power minus 1. This is called conductance. The next one we are going to see is resistivity. What is resistivity? Resistivity is nothing but the resistance of a wire with unit length and unit area of cross section. That is, rho is directly proportional to R. So I can write rho is equal to R into A by L, or R is equal to rho into L by A. So it depends upon the A and the L, rho will become R. So what is the unit of R? Already we have learnt ohm. Area of cross section is meter square. Length is meter, or it is centimeter square, it is centimeter. Then centimeter square, centimeter cancel, 1 centimeter will be there. So it will become ohm meter. That will be equal to 100 ohm centimeter. When will resistivity will become resistance? When the length will become 1 centimeter and the area will become 1 centimeter square, then definitely resistivity will become resistance. Now let us go to the next term, conductivity. What is conductivity? Conductivity is represented by the letter kappa. 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 Kappa is reciprocal of resistivity. So conductivity is equal to 1 by R into, instead of A by L, you write L by A, capital A. Then it will become kappa is equal to Siemens per centimeter. What is Siemens? Siemens is nothing but this mho or ohm power minus 1 is called Siemens. So 1 by resistance is 1 by ohm, that is Siemens, by L by A, that is, here only centimeter is there in the denominator, centimeter square, here centimeter, so cut it and you will write centimeter. Siemens centimeter. What is conductance? As we have resistance, we have learned conductance is 1 by R, that is 1 by resistance. So 1 by R can be written as conductance. Into this L by A is called cell constant. This cell constant will be same for all the cells used, all the solutions used in the same conductivity cell. Now we have seen the conductivity cell, it will be like a tank which will be having platinized electrode. For that particular conductivity cell, the cell constant will be same. So what is the conductivity will be equal to conductance into cell constant. You must be thorough with this formula. Conductivity is equal to conductance into cell constant. So what is molar conductivity? Lambda m. Molar conductivity is the conductivity of 1 molar solution. Since it is in Siemens centimeter, you know concentration is, this concentration term is mole per liter. Liter means 1000 centimeter cube. So what is the formula? Lambda m is becoming kappa, that is conductivity, into 1000 by C. So its unit will become Siemens mole power minus 1 centimeter squared. So Siemens centimeter squared mole power minus 1. Don't forget the unit. Units are also very important. Now we are going to see how does the molar conductivity changes with the dilution. C means concentration. Root C I have written. So I am drawing a graph between lambda m and root C. Why I am putting the arrow mark like this? Because I am going to show the dilution. Dilution means it will go in reverse. Concentration means it will go in the forward direction. So dilution means when you dilute, you see the strong electrolyte. KCl is a strong electrolyte. Why you say KCl is a strong electrolyte? In strong electrolyte, it will dissociate completely even in the beginning with a little water also. So what is happening when I am diluting. So what is happening to the molar conductivity? Molar conductivity is increasing. Up to this it has increased. I have extra plotted. Can you see the dotted lines? I am extra plotting it. When I am extra plotting, it will touch the y-axis where the concentration will be 0 at infinite dilution. So this point of the strong electrolyte is called molar conductivity at infinite dilution. This molar conductivity at infinite dilution is called lambda m naught. This is for the strong electrolyte. For the weak electrolyte, it is steeply increasing, but it never touches the y-axis. So it is not touching the y-axis, so I am not able to calculate the molar conductivity at infinite dilution for weak electrolyte. In strong electrolyte, there is a slight increase. Why? Because as dilution increases, the interionic distance, that is a distance between K plus and Cl minus, this interionic distance increases. But in weak electrolyte, there is a sharp increase. Why this sharp increase? As dilution increases due to increase in this alpha, I told already, degree of dissociation, as well as there is an attraction decrease happening. If you take acetic acid, when you dilute, there is attraction between the acetate ion and H plus ion decreases. So automatically the ion separates and degree of dissociation increases. So lambda m naught is the lambda m at infinite dilution. This is called limiting molar conductivity, which cannot be calculated for weak electrolyte as in the case of strong electrolyte by extrapolating and touching the lambda m naught. For strong electrolyte, lambda m is equal to lambda m naught into A into root C. A is a constant. So how to find out the lambda m naught for a weak electrolyte, which cannot be found out from the graph? Then we can go for Kohlrausch law, as we cannot calculate like the strong electrolyte by extrapolating. The weak electrolyte we can do with the Kohlrausch law. What is Kohlrausch law? The molar conductivity of any electrolyte, for example, I have taken NaCl, is the sum of individual contribution of cation and the anion present in the electrolyte. What is it? It is the molar conductivity of an electrolyte. Any electrolyte can be. Electrolyte is the sum of individual contribution of cation and anion present in the electrolyte. For example, take acetic acid. Who will give the contribution? Acetate ion and H plus ion, but which I cannot find out using this graph. So I am taking 3 strong electrolyte. One is sodium acetate, HCl and NaCl. From sodium acetate, what are the ions will give contribution? Acetate ion and Na plus ion. From here, what are the ions will come? H plus ion and Cl minus ion. I want what and what? Acetate ion and H plus only. So from here, acetate ion is coming. From here, H plus ion is coming. I don't want this Na plus. I don't want this Cl minus. So both the value I am subtracting from NaCl. So by using 3 strong electrolytes, we can find out a lambda m naught, that is limiting molar conductivity of a weak electrolyte. So what is alpha? I told you degree of dissociation, that is equal to lambda m at any concentration by limiting molar conductivity. What is Ka? It is dissociation constant. Ka is equal to C alpha squared by 1 minus alpha. Since alpha is going to be very, very small for weak electrolyte. For weak electrolyte, it is going to be less than 30%. For strong electrolyte, it is more than 30%. So that C alpha squared by 1 minus alpha, that 1 minus alpha is going to be almost the same. So we can write Ka is equal to C alpha squared. Thank you very much. We will meet in the next video.